So I'm going live.
Okay.
That's what it says.
Ooh, what a day, what a day. While you're doing that, I think I need to do.
Live. We are live, brother. So thank you so much, Dr. Ras. Mickey,
You're
is that how I call you? Mike?
Dr. Ras Mikey.
Dr. Ras Mikey. Thank you for accepting the invitation to this podcast, and it's a special edition because, usually I stream this Friday, but it was your birthday, and you are, releasing such a cool album that I thought was, why not doing it now, right? Outside calendar. How are you doing,
Right.
my friend?
I am very well, give thanks. Life is a blessing. Um,
You are. Where are you now?
well, I am at Wayne State University. I am an assistant professor of dance in the theater and dance department, and also the co-director of the Black Theater and Dance Collective there. And I've been there about 3 years. Moved here, transitioning after finishing the PhD at the University of Limerick in Ireland, an Irish Sport Academy of Music and Dance, and then um, yeah, Detroit is great. It's home for now. Yeah,
Nice.
a lot of
How's
things
the
going
family?
on. The family is very well. We're thriving. We
Nice.
are we are making the best of our situation.
I saw a video, very cool, of you and your wife walking around the house. That was so cool,
Oh
and
yeah,
your family. I
yeah, we
really
were
like it.
running. It was a promotional video for a virtual Ethiopian run, and yeah, that was fun to do.
So
More, yeah, go
tell
ahead.
me about Ethiopia. I know Ethiopia is important in your art, in your work.
Very much so. I mean, I am a Rastafarian, so we adhere to an Ethiopian king, Emperor Haile Selassie, who also shares the same day as his birthday, Malcolm Ledit Abatachinoi. Um, so naturally, growing up also in a Baptist Christian house, I was connected to Ethiopia biblically through the Bible, and then discovering my path as a Rastafarian, having a deeper connection. And my work kind of took me to Ethiopia at some point. I was used to work with Palabra Dance Theater, an American modern dance company. And we were touring in Israel. And I decided before I went back to the States, I needed to repatriate to Africa and actually, as a Pan Africanist, reach the motherland. And when I
How
went,
was that? How much time do you spend there?
I was there a month the first time I was there. So, and that's when I met my wife. So we got engaged then, and I came back 6 months later. And we got married. She was getting ready to start law school at Addis Ababa University. So after we got married, she ended up getting pregnant. So I moved to Ethiopia to kind of be with her and take care of our son while she was still going through law school. So I moved to Ethiopia in about 2006 and was there until mid 2010 before we moved back to the States. After, soon as she finished her defending her thesis for law school, we were on the plane that very same night with our son coming to America. And then
Oh,
not too long after that, she got pregnant with our second son. And I went to Ireland to go and do the master's in ethnochoreology and the PhD in arts practice research. They went back to Ethiopia. So we were in between from 2012 to 2017, Ireland.
culturally speaking and spiritually speaking, what does Ethiopia represent to you?
So Ethiopia for me is home, you know, culturally, it's think of the history. I think there's so much about Ethiopian history that a lot of people don't really recognize. It being the Fertile Crescent of civilization and, the home of coffee and one of the places that can trace their lineage directly from Judaism into Christianity, where Islam has lived for centuries with relative harmony. You know what I mean? Like, And so there's a lot about Ethiopia that I don't think that has been exposed to the world. And for me, as someone who finds a deep rooted connection to his family, his heritage, his spirituality in Ethiopia, as a movement person and as a practitioner of dance, I found it, I take the responsibility as the artist or the lifeist to bring that to the forefront of my work if I think that it's important. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what happened when I moved from Ethiopia back to the States, recognizing that there was kind of a gap in the continental perspective of African culture and the diversity and the multiplicities of African culture in terms of how we think of African dance specifically. Because naturally, most of African Americans would have the connection to West Africa because of the transatlantic slave trade. But we also have a connection to the east of Africa and to the whole entire continent. And it's important that people remember that Africa is a continent and not a country,
And
you
to the
know?
north, especially, it's
Yeah,
even Hispanics, Caribbean people, all the way,
yeah,
Mediterranean to, Europe and then the
yeah.
Americas. We don't do that connections anymore. We don't. We forgot
But
about them.
but the thing is, they exist. And for me, I'm very big on integration and not separation. So naturally I'm trying to find the through line. And for me, movement is the through line. Movement is the connection of culture, of humanity. Movement is life. So in finding that kind of space where Ethiopia could be placed within my work, that's where I started to develop Ethio modern dance, which is how I, embody Ethiopian culture and use it as a tool through my lens as an African American urban contemporary artist. So um, that's essentially how Ethiopia manifests itself in my work as a necessity to inform. It's important that if someone wants to know about me, it's important to know the things that are important to me. You know,
Of
if you
course.
see greatness in me, there are reasons why that is. And I have to pinpoint those things that have allowed me to be able to be the vessel that I am. And
And
I think
I guess that's great because when you do the connection and you express it in your art, other people can connect with things that you feel and you read, but it's cool to realize, other people are also making the same connections, and we're looking at
yeah,
those back stories that form us in a way that we tend to forget.
yeah. And I think sometimes, artists can take the responsibility to help people make those connections. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
to be the issue, I feel that,
Absolutely. That's the way I feel as a messenger, kind
you know what I mean? I overstand the energies and I overstand how that I'm connected. You know what I mean? So it's all about understanding that connection and being able to manifest whatever energy that's moving through you to help everyone else connect. I know issue is with me.
of. Totally. It is here right now in this conversation. I think it's the, who
Yeah.
who 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 made it possible, kind of. Hey, tell me, I know you have a new album. It's
Yes.
so
Love
good. I
here.
really totally recommend it. It's releasing today.
Yeah.
And the name is Year Love.
Love
Why
year.
Love Year? Tell me why the name. And
Because
tell us
why?
a little bit about the CV, the album. It's really nice, man.
Well, why not love year? Oh, but I can't find this on live. What Facebook name is it under?
Let me
I
see.
want to. I can put this on my
It's on
page.
my page.
Yeah,
Let me,
under Eva.
let me
Eva.
see. Yeah. Oh, let me tag you. Yeah, it's here on my page. Let me tag you. So go
Okay.
ahead, brother.
No, so love year is music for me is my heart. It's my passion. It's the
Mhm.
thing that has driven me to move the way that I do. And love year is something that speaks to the times that we are living in now. And it poses a lot of questions, but also does give some possible solutions to how we can make some changes within ourselves and connect to a deeper sense of ourselves in order to connect to the deeper sense of our connection to something greater than ourselves. So it's a culmination of songs that have been written over the past like 15 years, really. A lot of them are from that time, um, and were chosen because of the fact that they still are relevant, and to be able to deliver it through the vehicle of music oftentimes has an ability to transcend certain cultural boundaries. So
And
the
tell
same,
me
yeah,
why it's not a long album. It's kind of
it's an it's an EP.
short.
It's an EP.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wanted to get something out now, and just to give you some backstory on the album and how it was produced. Uh, the same guy that produced my first album, Ras, which came out in 2018, Kenny Allen of East African Recording Studios in Addis Ababa. We built this project virtually. So this is my quarantine project.
Cool.
And I wanted to make sure that I was able to do something that I felt was relevant and was substantial, but not too lengthy, because I'm a PhD. I can be very wordy, and and
That's what
and this EP itself is very rich with information.
it's
So
really
I
refreshing. And I told you, like for me, I find it so sweet. Your music is so sweet and at the same time so profound because your lyrics touches. It's really nice. I really enjoy it. I totally recommend it. Were
well
you able to find me to find the
I
video?
I did, and I
I
don't
send
know
it
if I
to you. I send it
I
to you on as messenger and I tag you. I don't know. Sometimes it's tagging is a thing in Facebook, like. But anyway, I send it to you on messenger. So
see it. It's fine. I'll get it. Don't worry about it.
uh,
Um so yeah, Love Year is something that it's a message. It's a message that I really feel needs to get out. And it's not even that I feel it needs to get out. I always like to say that this is things that are moving through me. Knowing that I've been given this gift means that I have a responsibility to share it because it has a purpose, and I recognize that every life has a purpose. It's a matter of everyone recognizing what their purpose is so that we can contribute to the greater purpose, which is our existence as a
there,
human species.
and that's the message, honesty, that I feel in your lyrics. It's very uplifting, and
Yes.
it goes to the internal conflicts that we all have. I think, right, in a way,
y-
who are we gonna be? When we're facing with challenges, are we gonna be the best of us? Are we gonna be what? We're gonna be indifferent, you know, stuff like that. I really love it. I totally recommend it because of that. So tell me, I want to ask you always something about dance because you're a dancer and a choreographer, right? But
Yeah.
there's something that intrigues me about the relationship with the body that in the American culture
Uh-huh.
that I think is kind of twisted, you know.
What
So
is repeat that question?
the relationship with that we have with our bodies, that is central for to different cultures. I think it's in the American culture. I find it kind of I don't find that we have connected that much with our bodies here. I don't know, except some people. So what is going on? What is your perspective about
How we are desensitized to the self. That's what you're asking me.
this?
Uh,
I want to
I,
know what you think about it. If you share the perspective, what are your
I,
takes?
I do share the perspective to some extent, in that we are disconnected from our bodies in the sense that we are disconnected from ourselves. And I think a lot of that is attributed to our reliance on things outside of ourselves. Yeah. So when you think of things like technology has always existed and has existed like as a tool for
Mhm.
progress. And so in some ways, when you think about the technological world that we live in now, technology is not necessarily allowing us to progress in a way of connecting in a human experience, like a lived experience, because things have become so virtual. And in many ways, it's a distraction from that oneness.
Absolutely.
You're so kind of conflicted with looking to your device to kind of find the answers,
I know.
as opposed to being able to sit in quiet. This is what's happened during this quarantine, is that,
And let your antenna do the work, you know? That's what I
yeah,
was telling a friend yesterday. Yeah, why don't we use our internal, instinct?
yeah, it's true. But I think it's that there's a disconnect because of our ability to connect in that virtual space, you know? And I think about it in the sense of like, how many phone numbers do you actually remember now?
Not even my sons. Can you imagine?
I think I know mine, my mom's, my wife's,
I don't know my
my
son.
son's some days. You know what I mean? Like just that concept alone. I can still remember the very first phone number I ever had, though. You know what I mean?
I know.
So there are certain things that
We
are
used
just
to
like
use
we
our minds.
well, I just think that we have the ability to start using our minds in a different way. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to know everybody's number, but
No.
it's just a matter of finding the balance. That's what it's really about. And on my next project, I have a song that I'm working on, and it's called Thin Line, and it talks about a thin line between use and abuse. You know, it's about finding the balance. Technology is a tool, but it also can be a tool. A tool can be used for good or for not so good things.
Absolutely. How we use it too, you know?
How we use it and how we're being taught to use it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I talk about when I talk about the system. The system is designed to rule. Spreading their propaganda, mass media is the tool. How are we using the tool? So, you know,
I
and
think,
that's what the
we have
project
to
is about.
we have to get used to the multiplicity of voices, of stories,
Yes.
narratives. We
Yes.
have to be used to diversity everywhere that we are as the new norm.
Yes.
Tell me, when it comes to diversity, I know you have, that's one of your interests, right? In your work.
Hmm.
How have you, done it?
I live it. I tell people a lot of the times, this is like, and if you watch the stuff that I've been posting on IG, I tell people, oftentimes I am a living contradiction to people's expectation of what it is that I'm supposed to be.
We are all. Thank
Well,
God.
yeah, no, but some people live to people's public persona. Some people will put their standard of how they want to live their life based upon how someone else has told them they should live,
I know.
you know?
It happens a
So,
lot.
and that's very common.
It's common
For
across the.
me, you know, my mother always says, you never cared about doing anything except for being you and discovering who you were by experiencing life.
There you go.
So I think my greatest dream was probably to do the music that I'm doing now. But I wasn't a kid that said, I want to be this when I grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know what you really want to be when you grow up.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times we're programmed to think that
I
we're
know.
supposed to know at a very young age.
I know.
I was fortunate enough to be able to flourish in the time that I grew up, that, you know, before cell phones, before the video games. I was the generation where all that stuff kind of came out,
Video
you
games
know?
are a hard one. Let me tell you, for teenagers. Oh my God. Well, you have teenagers too, right?
I have a 13-year-old, but I've never had a gaming system in my house since they've been born.
Yeah, me neither.
So
But now that he's a 16-year-old, let me tell you, it's a different world because the peer pressure, it's a thing. And that's
but
how he thinks he communicates.
yes, but I mean, my son has a cell phone and all that kind of stuff, but like he's not really using it too much now. But the reality is that it's not been their norm because my kids weren't raised in this environment the majority of their lives. The majority of their life were in Ethiopia. And then they came to the States. So we never had that stuff in Ethiopia. They knew of it. Their cousins in the States have it, but we never had it. So we
Different
still don't
level
have
of exposure to it.
it. They play it at their friend's house. Great. You can go and play it at your friend's house. I don't have any problem with you playing it. But I don't really see a necessity for it in my home. I know what it is. I had one. I know what it is. I'm not saying that they're bad to play, but I
No,
don't play
no, no.
it.
I let him explore the world, his world, but I just try to, just call his attention that there are books, there are other stuff, that you can also use for entertainment purpose, you
Very
know.
much. Yep.
So tell me, what have you been doing after the coronavirus? I know it's a challenge for a lot of people, a lot of creatives. So what are your takes on how do you see it? How do you see moving forward?
You see what I'm doing. I just dropped an album today. Like, ain't nothing stopping my purpose.
There you
No,
go.
if I have to stay virtual and stay in my house and do everything that I need to do for the I'm still like, even with teaching at the university, we've decided as the theater and dance department to predominantly go virtual and online for the semester. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reality is that I just as as an artist, and I don't even like to call myself an artist. I call myself a lifeist because art is subjective. It's a
Absolutely.
subjective term based upon somebody's valued aesthetic. Everything that I manifest is a reflection of the life and my life experience. It's not art. You can't really relegate it into that sort of space. It's life. I'm a lifeist. So manifesting that it has to happen wherever I am. I adapt. You know what I mean? Like if this is where we are, okay, I still have a purpose. I still have to do what
Exactly.
I need to do to contribute.
The
So
message to be sent.
yeah,
Conversations to be have, music to be learned, creative
ex-
projects to be made.
exactly. If I can't be in a dance studio creating dance, I I I have a company called For I'm a Versatile Entertainer. Yeah. And one of the mantras of the company is the key to longevity in any industry is versatility.
There you go.
So I and if I'm manifesting life to be able to create what I call edutainment, then as long as I'm living, I'm going to be creative. Corona, okay, you would, you know, I'll
Yeah,
wear a mask when I need to. And if I get into a space where like I can move again with people, great. If not, I'm comfortable enough with myself. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I have my health, my family. What else do I need?
exactly. Thank you, brother. And wish you the best with your, new album and your creative projects. And here we are. Let's collaborate more, okay?
Yes, we will. That's all we get. 30 minutes. 30 minutes is it. That's
Well,
how long.
only if you want to say something else. I really don't have anything else to ask you, But I can ask you about Europe.
I want to ask you about what you really liked on the album. Like, did you have a favorite song?
All of them are really my favorites, but the last reggae is really so like, I really like it.
Equality.
I really like it. And I have to say, all the lyrics, I really, um, embrace them. Like I was like, wow, this is what I've been thinking all this time, like I connect with them. So yeah. Do you want to play something? Do you think we should play something while we speak?
Yeah, I'll play that song for you. Let me make sure that all you hear is the music.
And tell me too what you like about the album or don't.
Can you hear that?
Equality we need. Well, I watch the stops and bond builders, they chop down, chop deal, and still rape and kill, land and will. Oh, now history shall reveal. My people fight for air to breathe, so quick to deceive and plead on their knees for the money. When all we want is to succeed. So we strive to create eternal life. I don't wanna die, it's not my time. Though I know, someday we'll choose a side. Equality, we need to breed a child who loves his brother man. No matter what the skin tone is, the love is how we bleed God's land. Elders, please nurture the seeds to sow the roots of the righteousness. Cause truth is in the fact, not believe, even if we don't understand. So many mysteries of our histories, the glory of kings before glamorous things. Holy freedom rings, I sing what I feel, but the real pain and the suffering shall cause no strain on God's Zion train. When you get on board, you'll feel no pain. Equality, we need to breed a child who loves his brother man. No matter what the skin tone is, the love is how we bleed God's land. Elders, please nurture his seeds to sow the roots of righteousness. Cause truth is in the fact, not believe, even if we don't understand. The foundation of this creation is to love in all the town, every city, every nation. Separation brings frustration, speculation stems from temptation. But the question is, how can one judge one? Wicked apple blaze, Babylon burned by the sun, yeah. Will you fight or run when Armageddon comes? Equality, we need to breed a child who loves his brother man. No matter what the skin tone is, the love is how we bleed God's land. Elders, please nurture his seeds, just grow the roots of righteousness.
All major
Is in the
platforms.
fact, not believe,
Love
even
here.
if we don't understand. Equality, we need to breed a child who loves his brother man. No matter what the skin tone is, the love is how we bleed God's land. Elders, please nurture the seeds to sow the roots of the righteousness. The truth is in the fact, not believe, even if we don't understand.
Thank you,
So
bro. That is so cool. I have a question for you from
I'm coming
Greg.
down to Miami to do some shows as soon as things let
Yeah,
it get this popping. Get me
yeah.
on stage to do this.
Have a question for you. Greg
Okay.
Adam says, "What's next for Ras Mikey C?" I think you kind of answered it before, but anyways, if you want to say something.
And continuing with my academics, being an assistant professor at the university and doing what I do with dance and movement and working on more music projects, trying to figure out how to really position myself better to make sure that the work is more visible. You know, I need to kind of be out there more. I'm realizing that
Yeah,
I can't sit around and just
expect people to find you.
no, need to kind of, you know, just put
Well,
it out. So
that's
I'm gonna
great,
continue to
bro.
put it
Let's
out
spread in the word.
and be the vessel, be that connector. So until the next time,
Tell me a little bit before you leave. Tell me a little bit about this song.
equality.
Yeah.
So it says equality, we need to breed a child who loves his brother, man. No matter what the skin tone is, the love is how we bleed Jah's plan. Elders, please nurture your seeds to sow the roots of righteousness. Because truth is in the fact, not belief, even if we don't understand. What else do you want me to tell you about the song? Like, that is the song.
That's my problem. I don't have anything else to say. I just recommend people to listen to the music. Tell me where people can find the music, the album.
On every major platform. I mean, you can stream it on Spotify, on iHeart Music. You can buy it on Apple. Let's stream it on Apple Music. Buy it on Tidal. On every major platform, you can find it everywhere. If you can't find it there, hit me up at RasMikeyC.com or on at RasMikeyC anywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Right? Why don't you put the link of the where we can find the album in the comments, in this thread comments? That would be useful.
Okay, I have to find where I put the thing.
Yeah, and the comments, in the post on the comments, you can put it.
I'm gonna put my website. How about that? Let's send some traffic there.
Wherever people can find the album,
On my website, everything there. There it is, RasMikeyC.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Until the next
time.
Yeah. Stay safe, yeah?
You too.
Bless.
Bye. Blessings. Take care, brother. Bye.